Hi everyone, welcome to another week in review. It is Friday, May 17th, 2023. We're in the 5th month of the year. I can't believe we're half into May. We're almost at half of the year, and I feel like the year just started. Craziness, right? So, not going to be long before you. I'm going to start off with COVID first, but if you missed this live, you can always catch the replay. So, on this feed, you can catch it on YouTube and catch some clips on Twitter and TikTok. So, here we are. So according to COVID from the World Health Organization data, the overall cases in the around the world, is at 775,431,269. So it's an increase from the last 7 days, which is by 30,000. According to the number of fatalities, total number of fatalities is 7,047,741, which was a 4,2,500 increase within the last 7 days as of May 5th. And if we get into the United States of America, because that's the area with the most cases, unfortunately, the land of the free has a lot of COVID cases. Total cumulative number of cases here is at 103,436,829 as of May 5th. And no change has been made within the previous changes. And these are the reported number of cases here. So it's over 100 million confirmed cases of COVID here in the United States. And the number of fatalities here in the country is 1,186,984. That's almost 1.2 million people that succumbed to this virus here at home in the United States within the last 7 days, and as of May 5th, 2024. And we look at the number of vaccinations here. Of course, as of 2023, December 31st, 70% of Americans are vaccinated, and at least a percentage, 36% of Americans have received the booster, and at least 82% of Americans have received the first dose of vaccinations. So are we still in the danger zone? Not really. We're not in the danger zone. However, we still have the highest cases around the globe, right? We still have the highest cases around the world. We're only 4.2% of the population, but yet we have the most cases and probably one of the most fatalities. Not a good sign, especially when the vaccine is ready and available at our disposal. So I don't know who folks are listening to at this point. People are like, why you still talk about COVID? That is so 4 years ago. That is so 2 years ago. People are still succumbing to COVID. People are still catching COVID. People are suffering from long-term effects of COVID. Let's repeat that again. People are either still catching COVID, still suffering from the long-term effects, or they have succumbed to COVID. So that's why I'm encouraging folks to take the vaccinations, to still wear your mask in large public areas, because the subvariants are just as harsh. We may not be in the danger zone, but it's still tough. So please, for God's sakes, take necessary precautions and not affect the ones that are immune compromised around you. So that's my spiel of COVID. So I always have to write my stuff down. As you can see right here, I write everything down. The brain sometimes get whoop. So Congress, I try not to talk about Congress too much, but in this case, you got to talk about Congress. This has been the most ineffective, non-productive Congress in history. Before most of our existence, right? This 118th Congress has been very dysfunctional under the GOP leadership. We had two GOP leaders. Both not strong leaders at that. Not approved by their own members of their own party, which is split. But folks got the nerve to talk about Democrats. Under Democratic leadership, Nancy Patricia de los Anjos Pelosi, forever Speaker Emerita, she got shit done. Whether you like it or not, she got stuff done. She worked with Republicans. She got things done. These two GOP leaders, Kevin Owen McCarthy, James Michael Johnson, not so much. And if they got anything done, it was mostly majority because of Democrats under the leadership of Hakeem Sekou Jeffries of Crown Heights, Brooklyn, New York. And I digress. This oversight committee under the leadership of James Comer, it's a mess. And it started off with a bad exchange. An exchange that resulted in insults. Pretty much, I felt like it was a racial epithet. Your fake eyelashes. Coming from the trailer park trash woman herself. And then the Latina jumped in. What are you doing? That's how dare you remove her comments. As she followed protocol under her then mentor in the ethics committee, the late, great Elijah Cummings. And then when Miss Crockett, Texas representative herself, was in Congress and basically said the 5 Bs. I can't remember, but I mean, she said what everybody was thinking, right? She said what all of us, including me, what I was thinking. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I think that was probably one of the most redacted things she said. Because if she really said what she wanted to say, it would have came out as, oh my God, she's racist, transphobic, yada yada. She's this, she's that, she's this, she's that. That's how it would have came out. Right? If she really said what she wanted to say, it would have came out the wrong way. She would have been called all kinds of stuff. Because we know it's true. Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of the most ineffective, disrespectful, unprofessional representatives to ever be elected to Congress. She's doing a disservice to her district. But again, the constituents in her district can't seem to understand how government works, and they keep voting for someone that's doing a disservice to you, who's not really making policy to help you. She's doing this for theater. She's not a serious person. Even with her bachelor's degree and her years of experience in business, she's still a deplorable woman. So, with that being said, Marjorie Taylor Greene needs to be voted out, and voted out quickly, before her district suffers a lot more under a Democratic House leadership under Hakeem Sekou Jeffries. Yeah, I said that. But just to sum it up for the 2024 elections, before I get into other things with the elections, this election is literally about democracy versus totalitarianism. Let me repeat that again. This upcoming election is democracy versus dictatorship at this point. Either you want a democracy or you want to live in a dictatorship. Pick one. Because at the end of it all, under a Democratic administration, a Democratic House, a Democratic Senate, you're able to get the things that you want to get. Would you get all of it in the same time, simultaneously? No. You will get it in increments, but you will get it. Right? If you vote for the blue ticket. If you don't want to vote or vote red, you're going to get the bare minimum. And you're lucky to even get the bare minimum because you ain't going to get nothing under that. Bum if you try to come back in there, and under the likes of, let's see, John Thune, who could possibly be the new Senate minority leader, maybe majority leader if people vote correctly. Or under a Marjorie Taylor Greene House Speaker, because they might vote out James Michael Johnson. That party is a hot mess. Kind of reminds you of the Whig Party back in the 17 and 1800s, right? Yeah. So, like I said, this upcoming election is literally not just only a binary choice, but a choice of democracy and freedom versus dictatorship. You pick and choose, what do you want? But if I were you, I would pick the freedoms and democracy over dictatorship. And speaking more into our 2024 elections, Maryland just had their Senate primaries on the Democratic side and the Republican side. So the Democratic nominee is Angela Also Brooks, who beat her opponent by great numbers. And on the Republican side, of course, is the former Governor of Maryland, Lawrence Hogan Jr., also known as Larry Hogan. Now, the distinction is clear between the two. One has results of working with the folks in her area and also advancing the Democratic ticket and championing for the Democratic party legislative agenda, versus one who is a declared and devout conservative and touts that pro-life agenda, and also has not done great things for the people of Maryland. So it's up to the folks of Maryland to make their decision. I'm not going to butt in your business. But if I were most of you in Maryland, I will tout the black woman who's actually is able to get things done for her state. Yeah. Now, moving into the presidential election, there's some things I have to address, and I want to start with undecided voters. So I was watching this clip of business women from Arizona who are independent voters and undecided voters and not too much fans of our top tickets. Okay, I can understand people got difference of opinions. I get it. I understand it. I understand people vote for single issues or multiple issues. Get that. But what I don't get is, how can you be undecided when there is a clear distinction of who is a better fit for the office? On this side, we have somebody who is a demagogue, who is an insurrectionist, a criminal defendant, has been impeached twice, indicted 4 times with multiple accounts, who faked his finances and his wealth, who has gotten over screwing people over for the last 50 years of his career, versus somebody who's actually not just only a decent human being, but is one of the most effective presidents of our time. Curb a pandemic from a danger zone to a non-danger zone. Made the vaccine available and ready, and had a national plan on top of it. Gave you $1,400, passed the most comprehensive legislative package to combat a pandemic and to save the economy, has a booming economy, and just learned as of today, well, as of yesterday, on Friday, May 17th, the Dow closed above 40,000 points. Address the baby food shortage, passed one of the most effective legislative and jobs bill in a long time. Forgiving student loans. The list goes on and on. So for the folks that are undecided, I would like to ask you, are you better off today than you were before COVID? During the Trump administration? I think you're better off today than you were back in 2017 through 2020. More so in 2020. Because it was a hard year for everyone in 2020. There were people that lost people. There were people that got sick and can't work again because of COVID. So you pick and choose what you want to do, as I always say. Because if I were you, I would vote for the 82-year-old who actually got so much done within 4 years with a divided Congress versus an indicted criminal and insurrectionist. Because I am so sick of this shit. And speaking, being sick of this shit, you know, Cardi B made an announcement saying she's not voting for either ticket. Yeah, whatever. I already addressed her. But I want to make it clear to rappers, singers, actors, all of those in the entertainment industry. You not voting in this upcoming election, you're not exempt from scrutiny. If that bum, because I always say he's a bum because he's a bum at heart, get back in that White House, the first thing he's going to go after is free speech. And that is the First Amendment to the Constitution. It's part of the Bill of Rights. Freedom of speech. So you want to make a rap song criticizing the government or criticizing any issue? That's a dead issue. That's number one. You having an award show to honor your accolades, you can forget about that because that ain't happening. You want to make the money you going to make, going to block you. If you're not a white Christian male, you can forget about that. So all of you entertainers out there that are black and brown, you are under siege. You're not exempt from scrutiny, no matter how much money you got, because as I always say, everybody's a paycheck away from homelessness. Keep that in mind. And that even goes for young people. Those, you know, millennials around my age in their 30s and Gen Zs who are in their 20s. I said this before, you not voting, you will lose all your freedoms. You will not have the right to choose, not the right to live how you want to live, marry who you want to marry, not get your loans forgiven. You will have access to nothing. Democracy, as you know it, the rights that you will have will be taken away. It will be done, gone. So the fact that you okay with giving the middle finger to people that fought and died for the rights for you to have in this country, it's the ultimate disrespect. And if you want to call me a boomer, so be it. Because the last time I checked, I'm not a boomer. I'm just a person who respect the people that came before them, who fought for my rights to have as an African American woman in this country, born in this brown skin. Because my ancestors got their heads bashed in to make sure I have the right to vote and to be free. So if you want to call me a shill, so be it. Do you. You want to call me paid? That's fine. But if that bum try to get back in there, don't say I told you so. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to leave you with that, folks. And you have a good night. Take care of yourself. Be blessed.